I'm not sure if I'm the only person feeling like this, but recently I haven't been enjoying gaming and playing video games, especially not to the level that I used to. And it got me thinking of the stages in my life when I was enjoying playing games so much, as in literally they were the most enjoyable things in my life at the time. Immediately 2 games came to mind: Fortnite Battle Royale and Call of Duty Modern Warfare / Warzone. Why? I think it would have to be the countless memories I made with my friends throughout the hundreds of hours of playing the both of them. The moments of pure rage, the times when I'd be pissing myself laughing, or the ecstatic highs when we won our first victory. While thinking about all these memories, I got hit with a huge wave of nostalgia and appreciation for these games. And even though neither of them are currently in the best state, I'll always have a deep amount of gratefulness for them being a part of my life. Which brings me to the title of this video: the power that nostalgia has with video games and the role it plays when talking about how good certain games are. In the past few weeks, I've been reminiscing a lot on the time I had last year in 2021 playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone. Those of you who are familiar with my channel might be surprised that I'm not using Red Dead Redemption 2 as an example here, but for once I actually don't think that it's the best game to illustrate my point. Because although I definitely do have some nostalgia attached to playing Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2020, and it's definitely my favourite game of all time, when it comes to nostalgia and looking back on the memories you made in a game, the quality of said game isn't as important as you'd think. And this is why I use Warzone as an example here. The time period of Warzone that I have the most nostalgia for was the second lockdown from January to about April of 2021. Anyone who played even a single game of Warzone, or actually you didn't even need to have played the game to know, the meta was atrocious, definitely the most broken it's ever been. You had the FFAR that shredded through people and was, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, the only weapon you could viably use if you wanted to get past the first 2 minutes of the game. You also had the DMR and Type 63, which could 3-shot people from any ranges, and who could forget the fully automatic machine pistols that not only were fully automatic, not only could you slap an 80 round magazine onto, but you could have 2 of them, which went about as well as you'd imagine. Also at this time there was absolutely appalling communication from the developers and an underlying hacker problem to top things off. And yet, even with all these bad things that I've listed off, which caused Warzone to be in one of its worst states ever, for one reason or another I kept playing it, and I have tons of very fond memories of me playing Warzone with my mates. Which goes to show that the actual quality of a game isn't entirely relevant when it comes to the nostalgia you have surrounding it. Which I think is interesting to keep in mind when talking about this next game. Fortnite. Now, unlike Warzone, I think every single person who's watching this video played Fortnite at least once back in 2017-18 when it took over gaming, so I think this part will be more relatable to more people. There's no denying that peak Fortnite was legendary. It was something fresh in gaming, mixing the Battle Royale style game of PUBG with the building mechanics of Minecraft. It was also cross-compatible between all platforms, which wasn't very common with games at the time. I remember with every new season there was so much excitement about what would change, and it just had such a good energy around it. Anyone who experienced Prime Fortnite would say that it was one of the best times in gaming for sure. And there is a lot of nostalgia surrounding Fortnite. I mean, there's literally whole TikTok accounts dedicated to posting Fortnite nostalgia, and their videos consistently get millions of views. So this is a very common feeling amongst people who used to play Fortnite. It was definitely a special time in gaming. I know for myself it was. The most nostalgic period of Fortnite for me was in around August of 2018. I just built my first gaming PC, so I didn't have enough money to dish out on a 60 quid AAA game, and Fortnite was free. I was already very familiar with it, having played it a lot already on Xbox, and on top of that it was cross-platform, so I could still play with loads of my mates who were on PS4 and Xbox, so it just made the most sense to play. And I remember non-stop playing it, as in from August until the end of 2018, it was literally the only game I played on my PC. Battle Royale, Playground, the LTMs, had the time of my life playing it with my mates. And the brilliant thing was, I was playing it with so many different friends of mine. It would be completely normal to go online and see about 10 people on, and you'd join them and hop in a game together. Prime Fortnite was without a doubt the best time in gaming for me, but I think a lot of people make a big mistake when they look back on it. In these Fortnite nostalgia videos that I mentioned earlier, you see a lot of comments saying things along the lines of, if Fortnite was like this now I'd still be playing it, or if Fortnite just released an LTM where everything is the same as it was during its prime, everyone would get back into it. I strongly disagree. It would be nice, sure, to hop back into Fortnite and in a way relive all the memories we've made, but after a couple of games that will fade away and people would get bored very soon. Because, like how I said with Warzone earlier in this video, the actual quality of the game, whether it was a shambles like in Warzone or unbelievably fun like it was in Fortnite, it isn't the most important part when looking back at the memories you made in it. So, what is? If the actual game itself isn't significant, what causes us to have so much nostalgia for the time in our life when we were playing it? And it's just that. It's not the game that people miss, it's where they were and the time of their lives when they were playing it. It's no coincidence that I've used Warzone and Fortnite as my examples of the games I'm most nostalgic about, when the years that I played them, 2021 and 2018 respectively, were the 2 favourite years of my life. And so we attach these games to certain periods in our lives that we have so much fondness for. 2021, last year, Ireland had their second COVID lockdown from January to April. I was doing online school, I had way more free time on my hands. I remember I'd be going out with my friends every weekend, and I also remember that I just got Spotify Premium and I was starting to listen to rap artists like Juice WRLD and Pop Smoke more. And before the lockdowns, I could never go online with my friends during the weekdays. With school and sports training, we'd always be too busy. But now with lockdown, we'd be going on every single night, and Warzone and Modern Warfare as well were the two games that we played the most. So although I definitely did really enjoy playing COD Warzone and Modern Warfare, I think my nostalgia is more deeply rooted in that stage of my life at the time. And since Warzone and Modern Warfare were a big part of that time in my life, I have strong nostalgia attached to them as well. So now getting back to my point about Fortnite, you can see now that it wasn't purely the actual game of Fortnite that people miss, it's where they were in their lives at the time. And Fortnite was a big part of that for a lot of people. So therefore, the nostalgia for Fortnite is very strong. I may be wrong when I say this, but I think that the majority of Fortnite's player base at the time were people who are my age, which is like 11, 12, maybe give or take 2 years. And their nostalgia comes from being in primary school and having maybe a simpler life with less stuff to worry about. While nostalgia is for the most part a bittersweet thing in gaming, it can also be a bit harmful if you're not careful. Let me explain. Since about the start of the year, I've sort of become hung up on the times that I had last year with gaming, so much so that I was forgetting to enjoy the present of me playing games now. And I think this is most exemplified with my purchase of Call of Duty Vanguard. I was so happy with the previous months of me playing COD Warzone and Modern Warfare and made so many memories that I wanted to do it all over again with a new COD. I was so ready to feel that feeling that I did with Modern Warfare, so I bought Vanguard on sale and after playing a couple of matches had a great time with it, but it just wasn't the same. And I realise now that it wasn't the same because again, it wasn't the feeling of playing COD that I wanted to replicate. It was that time in my life that I was trying to relive, which obviously isn't possible. Even after I stopped playing Vanguard in around March, I was doing the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2, stretching it out trying to have the same enjoyment that I did with my first playthrough in 2020. And although it was good for the channel and particularly great for my TikTok, there comes a stage where you just gotta move on. This year I've only played the same games that I've always played, trying to squeeze out whatever's left in them because of all the nostalgia I have for them and the memories I made. It's resulted in this year feeling really dead gaming wise for me because I haven't experienced anything new. And that's the problem with nostalgia in gaming. Maybe this is a problem that I only face, but it can cause you to cling on to those wonderful memories you made in certain games and forget to move on. So in conclusion, what role does nostalgia play when talking about video games? I think overall nostalgia in gaming is a positive thing. Having made so many memories on a video game to the point that it becomes nostalgic to think back to it is very special and should be cherished, but we also have to take the nostalgia we have for these games with a pinch of salt, because it can cause us to look back on certain games with rose tinted glasses and overlook many of the objective bad parts about these games. Also, we've got to be careful to not cling onto this nostalgia and be so hung up on past gaming memories that you forget to live in the present. Because we didn't realise in the moment how much fun we were having with these games. We can only truly realise it now in hindsight. But that applies to the present as well. You could be having tons of fun now, not even thinking that you are, and in a couple of years you'll be looking back with a lot of affection on the times now. So don't forget to live in the present when playing video games. I think that's more of a message to myself than it is to any of you watching this video. It's strange, I'm only realising now that for most of this year I've been living in the past playing games like Red Dead Redemption 2, like Warzone, like Valorant, that I've quite literally been playing for years, and I haven't been expanding the games I'm playing. I'm glad to say I've stopped doing this. I've recently started playing the GTA 5 story for the first time and I'm having a pretty good time with it. It's definitely not the most fun I've ever had gaming, but it's something fresh at least, and after I finish it I have more games lined up to play like Max Payne 3, LA Noire, and since it's newly come out to PC, God of War, which I'm very excited for. So thank you so much for watching this video. Bit of a different one to the videos I usually do. I wasn't just focusing on one game for this one, but I've had thoughts about this topic bouncing in my head for honestly months now, and I wanted to bring them all into the one video because I think it's a really interesting topic to talk about, and I'd love to hear what all you guys have to say. Do you have any games that you're nostalgic over, and do you agree with what I'm saying about how people miss the time in their lives they were in more than the actual game? I'm genuinely very interested about what you all have to say, so please do leave a comment. I read them all. This might in a way seem like a negative video. I've mentioned a lot in this video that I haven't been enjoying gaming this year, which is the truth, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I now know that I haven't been enjoying video games because I simply haven't been playing enough ones that I haven't already. But anyways, thank you all again so much for watching this video. Have a look at some of my others. If you enjoyed this one, you definitely will like my other ones. And that's it, yeah, take care of yourselves.